Hello, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Marlies, also known as Marley Design. And before I will get into what is on my table and what I'm going to do today, I really want to say thank you. Thank you big time for all the support, loving words, the condolences towards my family, and all the prayers. It is always good and nice to know that people are thinking of you when times are a bit harder. And then on to this, well, let's say messy desk. I have been cleaning here and there in my studio, and yeah, that is maybe something that I do, maybe you do that too, but I have some loose pieces here and there from this project and from that project, and while cleaning I have placed it all on my desk so I could sort it out after the majority of cleaning is done. And that made me think, well, it is a lot, all little things and bits and bobs and everything. Why don't we make something with this? And I came to this idea because last week in my video I created these stamps in my holder, but you can see the stamps are in front view, also in front view, but on the back there is nothing. That has mostly to do with the texture of the watercolor paper. It is a bit more bumpy, this side of the paper. So my idea is to use some scraps and fill up those 3 cards on the back. And when I do that throughout this whole holder, so one side will be stamped and the other side will be like collaged or with paper. And I think that the overall look will be awesome. So yeah, that is what I'm going to do today. I will get my first 3 cards out and work on the back with a selection of what is on my table. So let me find some pieces that my eyes are drawn to and I will be right back. And this is what I found. I think I can work with these pieces to make it into 3 separate cards but still matching. I had some tea or coffee stained paper on my desk, some pieces of ephemera, some stamped labels, snippets, a piece of backdrop. There was also one mini doll on my table. Maybe later on we have to get out more, or maybe a bigger doll, but we have to find out. A black label, leftovers from black labels, and then down here I have some die cuts. They are from one of the new releases from Tim Holtz and Sizzix. The number of this set is 666603. Yeah, and why was that on my table? Well, I got these new dies in, and of course, yeah, you want to try, so I cut out a couple. I left them on my table, so now maybe we can use it in this make. One fun little fact. I also have some pieces of the Tim Holtz design tape. I found them, do not laugh, on the side of my table where I have put them at a moment that I thought I would use them, but I didn't. So maybe I will use these today. Let me make some room and I will be right back so we can start. I have put the 3 cards in front of me so I will have a good overview. And the first paper that caught my eye was this paper, neutral color with the black numbers and letters on top. I think I can get exactly 3 parts out of this, including the black numbers or letters for the 3 cards. You can see I have managed to cut out 3 pieces with letters and numbers. Let's move on to our second paper. This is my tea coffee dyed paper, and I especially like these areas where it's a little bit darker. So I'm going to concentrate on these areas and cut out 3 pieces. And here are the pieces out of my second paper, the tea and coffee dyed paper. This will be my 3rd piece of paper of my choice for this little collage. All my basic papers are done and I am ready to glue them down. Only thing I would like to add when gluing down my papers is the tape. I want them somewhere in between the papers. And do not forget to ink up your papers before gluing them down, and I will use the Archival ink, a vintage photo and my blending tool to do that. After applying all my papers to the white cards, I went into my stash, well, not my stash, but my leftovers and my scraps that were on my table to see if I could find something that is matching with, well, the colors in the back, and if I could create some kind of theme. And I have pointed out before these gears. They were already on my table because when I got the die in, the new die set, of course I was curious, so I wanted to check out how it would look. That means I have a whole bunch of these little gears. So I got these out, especially because of the color. I like black, and black will create contrast. Also, when we talk about contrast, white or a lighter color will make contrast. So there comes in like these labels. I had two pieces, well, cut off pieces left over, and I had this one on my table that I was supposed to use in another project, but that did not happen. The whole label for one card is too big, so I think I can also cut it in half. Use one half on this card and the other half on this card. I got out some dolls, the man, the young lady, and well, in my stash I did not have any other single person left over than only this grandmother and her grandson, I think. I'm not going to use them in total. I think I will cut off the boy. And of course you can also see those dolls are too large for this project. That means they will be cut like about here and here and here. So this is just a little setup on my cards. Yeah, just to see what I like, what I do not like, what I think I can add, if I am missing something. So this is more like a playing phase in this project, moving around with some elements, dolls, labels, snippets, you name it, maybe some random drops. And I will do this until I am happy with the result. My layout for now is just fine. The only thing that catches my eyes is that in the background there is still a lot of clear area. I want something to be there so it is more interesting to the eyes, and you can think about a remnant drops, using a stamp, or adding a couple of small snippets. I will focus at one card at the time, and I will start with this young lady. For the stamping I will use my mini glitch stamp set CMS 405 from Stampers Anonymous and Tim Holtz. And I will stamp with the Distress Archival ink Ground Espresso. And this is how the first card turned out. And when you go to your second and third card, and you will keep everything similar, like the stamping and adding the gears, the labels or pieces of the labels and the little numbers, the all over look on all three cards will be the same. This is how the second card turned out. And the last and third card turned out like this. All three are finished right now, and the last step that I have added to all three cards is the small talk. The Tim Holtz small talk. And I have chosen the light color, the white, just so it will pop a little bit more on the card. This fun little project is easy to create. It does not take a whole lot of time. You are using up your scraps. In the meantime, I also cleaned up my table because I have used those scraps. And another reason for me this is working in a nice way, the project is small. So when you do not have a whole lot of time and you just want to sit for, let's say, 30 minutes, you can create this. So you have been crafting, but it did not take you a whole day to make something. Now let me put these in my holder. This is what I already had, and I will flip the page, and this is what we created today. And I think when I repeat these steps throughout this whole booklet, so stamping on one side and maybe collaging or doing another technique on the other side, yeah, I think it is beautiful. And that will give you, in the end, when your book is like full, it will give you a very pretty looking book with all kinds of stamps, techniques, papers, collages, and maybe you can even come up with more. In my last video, I had some questions about this holder, where you can find it or where you can buy it. This holder is from the thrift store. I found this one, and there was also a black one laying there. It was only like, well, I thought it was like 50 cents or something. So I grabbed it at a thrift store and took it home. But it also made me think, when I got the question where you can buy this, you can very well buy this at like maybe a dollar store, maybe at Walmart, I don't know, because of course I do not live in America, but it could be there. I have also seen them on the Chinese websites like AliExpress and Temu. I do not have a link for that, but you can check it out yourself. Maybe search for like card holder or something like that. So maybe you will find one for yourself and can get started with creating. This was my video for you today. I hope you liked it, enjoyed it, and got some inspiration out of it. And that you want to try to make some of those little pieces for yourself. And give yourself some crafty time so you can relax. When you want to know which kind of materials I have used, I will put all the links in my description box below, so you can check it out. Also in my description box is my link for Ko-fi, when you want to buy me a coffee, my link for my Etsy store, where you will find all my digital kits for junk journaling, and I will put all my links to my social platforms also in the description box, so you can check me and my work out and maybe follow me. Thank you for being here. I hope to see you next time. Bye!